The battle over the Rim world had ended only hours before, leaving the plains scattered with fallen machines and the acrid scent of burned soil lingering in the air. The human outpost lights flickered in the distance as dawn pushed over the horizon, dimming the stars that still hung above the shattered valley. Amid the debris walked a lone human scout named Leon. His duty was simple: search the field and ensure no hidden drones or traps remained that could threaten the retreating convoy. Leon had done this many times across many worlds. It was not glory work. It was necessary work. The conflict between humans and the towering reptilian race, known as the Helari, had raged for 3 long cycles. Every encounter between the two species had been fierce. Both sides believed they fought for survival. Every soldier had been told the same message: the Helari would not show mercy. The Helari respected only dominance. The Helari never spared an enemy. Leon had accepted this as truth for most of his life. Yet truth had a way of shifting when the warfront rolled across new soil. As Leon climbed over the remains of a toppled transport, he heard a faint sound beneath the broken panels. It was a small cry, thin, trembling, unexpected. He froze and listened again. It came once more, a soft whimper. He pushed aside the warm metal, expecting maybe an injured drone, maybe a dying creature native to the world. Instead, he found something far more startling. A Helari child lay curled on the ground. Its scales were a deep blue, speckled with gold along the edges. Its eyes were closed tight in fear and pain. One of its legs was twisted beneath itself. A faint green glow pulsed from a small device strapped to its chest, marking it as part of a Helari family unit. Leon had never seen a Helari juvenile before. He had only heard that they were raised in fortified enclaves. He had never imagined one would be lost on a battlefield. Leon felt a tug in his chest, something instinctive. The child was hurt, alone and terrified. The code his squad lived by was clear. If an enemy combatant survived, especially one with tracking tech, it must be reported and secured. Yet this was not a combatant. This was a child who could barely lift its head. Leon knelt and offered a hand, though the child only stared back with wide eyes. When he tried to lift it, the child hissed in pain. Leon stopped. He removed his gloves and held his hands open to show he carried no weapon. The child trembled again, but reached out a clawed hand to touch his palm. Leon felt the desperation in that tiny gesture. He wrapped the child gently in his jacket and carried it away from the wreckage. Every step felt like a step taken against orders, against the structure of war itself. But Leon could not leave the child behind. He whispered soft reassurances, even though he knew it could not understand his words. Comfort was a universal language. Leon found a sheltered spot near a cluster of rocks where the wind broke around them. He set down the child and examined its injured leg. It was swollen and stiff. He pulled out his medical kit and applied a stabilizer band. The child winced but did not pull away. Leon gave it water from his flask, and though the child struggled at first, it eventually drank. Hours passed as Leon tended to the child. The sun rose fully. The sky brightened. His cum unit buzzed with calls from his squad, but Leon kept his responses short. He said he was continuing his sweep. He said he had found a damaged zone with unstable wreckage. He said nothing about the small life beside him. Across the valley, far beyond the wreckage, a large Helari warship descended through the clouds. The engines glowed orange against the blue sky. The Helari commander, a formidable figure named Rima, stood at the center of the command deck. Her scales were silver with streaks of deep emerald. Her posture was rigid. Her eyes were sharp with worry rather than anger. Rima was not searching for human forces. She was searching for her missing child. During the chaotic final moments of the clash, Her transport had been struck. The force of the explosion had thrown her child clear of the landing platform. Rima had leaped after them, but falling debris had forced her back. When the smoke cleared, the youngling was gone. Rima had scoured the area but found no sign. Then the central beacon on her child's chest had activated and transmitted a faint signal. It pulsed weakly, telling her the child was alive but in distress. The warship began a systematic scan. Rima ordered search teams to deploy. They spread across the valley with urgency unusual for Halari soldiers, yet none questioned their commander. Every warrior understood the importance of a clan's lineage. To lose a child was to lose a future. The human forces noticed the Halari search efforts, but did not engage. Both sides were exhausted from the recent clash. The humans assumed the Halari were searching for salvage or regrouping. The Halari ignored the humans entirely. Only one human truly knew what mattered. Leon sensed something shifting in the air. A low hum vibrated across the plains. He recognized the sound of Halari survey craft. He looked at the child, who clutched the edges of his jacket tightly. The beacon on its chest glimmered brighter now, responding to the incoming signal. Leon knew he should hand the child over. Yet another part of him wondered if doing so would endanger him. The Halari viewed humans as enemies. If he carried a Halari youngling, they might assume he had taken the child hostage. The thought chilled him. Still, Leon lifted the child carefully and began walking toward the highest ridge where he could be seen clearly from above. If the Halari were searching for the child, he would not hide. He would present himself openly. He hoped they would understand. The ridge was steep, and Leon's legs ached as he climbed. The child gripped his shirt to steady itself. When he reached the top, he set the child down and raised both hands. A Halari shuttle spotted them almost immediately. It hovered for a moment before landing several paces away. The dust billowed around its landing struts. A group of Halari warriors emerged, weapons holstered but ready. They were tall and imposing, their eyes fixed on the human who stood unarmed beside a Halari child. None approached at first. They examined him cautiously. The child limped toward them and chirped a call. The nearest warrior, a broad-scaled figure, rushed forward and lifted the child into their arms. They inspected the stabilizer band on its leg, then looked at Leon with an unreadable expression. Another figure emerged from the shuttle. Rima stepped onto the ridge. Her presence silenced even the wind. She approached her child and embraced them with trembling relief. Then she turned her gaze to Leon. Leon remained still, hands open to show he held no threat. Rima looked at him long and steady. The Halari language was a deep, resonant growl, but Leon sensed meaning even without understanding the words. She gestured toward the child's bandaged leg. Her tone softened. She was acknowledging what he had done. Leon nodded and spoke calmly. He did not know if she understood him, but intent mattered. He told her he had found the child alone. He had done what anyone should. He had protected a life. Rima stepped closer. Her towering size cast a shadow across him, yet her posture was not hostile. She reached out and touched Leon's shoulder, a gesture he recognized from Halari interactions he had seen in recorded briefings. It was a mark of gratitude, a mark rarely given to an enemy. The warriors around her lowered their guard. Rima spoke to them, and they stepped back. She motioned for Leon to follow her into the shuttle. Leon hesitated. Entering an enemy craft could be seen as surrender. But Rima placed a hand on her chest, then pointed to him, then to her child. The message was clear. She wanted him to speak with her, to understand why he had saved the child. Inside the shuttle, the lights glowed a soft violet. Rima sat across from Leon. The child rested beside her, holding her arm tightly. One of the warriors activated a translator unit. A clear tone sounded. Rima's voice emerged in human language. It was rough, but comprehensible. She asked Leon why he had helped her child when he had every reason not to. Leon thought for a moment. Then he answered simply. War did not erase the value of innocent life. He could not walk away and let a child die. No reason beyond that was needed. Rima listened in silence. Her gaze softened. She explained that Halari viewed acts of mercy as profound markers of character. In Halari culture, saving a youngling from another clan forged a bond of obligation. Saving a youngling from an enemy clan was rarer still and carried immense weight. She told Leon that his act had changed how she viewed humans. The shuttle lifted from the ridge. Leon startled, but Rima reassured him. They were returning him to his outpost. She wanted her warriors to see that humans were not the ruthless figures they had believed. She wanted to show that honor existed even among enemies. When they reached the outskirts of the human lines, the shuttle descended. Rima stood and faced Leon. She told him that the path of war was shaped by moments of unexpected truth. She owed him a debt. One day she would repay it. She placed her hand on his shoulder once more. Then the child reached out and pressed a small carved token into his palm. It was a Halari clan symbol, a gift rarely given to outsiders. Leon stepped down from the shuttle. His squad rushed toward him in shock as the Halari vessel ascended and departed without hostility. Leon watched it rise into the sky until it became a faint speck. Word of the encounter spread quickly through both armies. Some doubted the story. Some argued it was a tactic, but others began to wonder. If enemies could save each other's young, perhaps the two race